suppositories. As you can see, I have water in a 150 ml beaker. You want to have about 55 mils of water in it. As you can see, I'm a little low, so it's not going to come up the edges as it should. When you're putting the two beakers together, make sure the two pouring lips don't interlock, or else you're going to get them stuck together. Make sure you put your stir bar in first, or else you'll have a really hard time melting it. And then you're going to add your base. When you're heating up your water, you don't want to boil it. You just want to get it about 50-60 degrees and let the base melt and turn on the stir so it agitates it and it melts a little bit quicker. After it's all liquid, you're going to add your drug to it. In this case, it's red talc. Now here I have it already mixed in, and I'm ready to pour my double cast. When you do double cast, what you first want to do is fill the mold about 3/4 or 70% full. Try to make it as even as you can, but make sure you use as much of the base with drug in it as you can. If you don't, there's not going to be as much drug in the final product and your calculations will be off. So it's really important for calculating your error and everything that you use the exact amount of drug and all the base with the drug in it as you can. Once you have them all filled up to about 3/4 to 70% full, you let them cool. Before you pour the caps on, make sure they're mostly cool. Then you're going to get more base, get it really hot, and you're going to cap off the double cast. The reason it has to be hot is you want to fuse the cap and the bottom of the mold so that they stick together. If you look closely, you can see how I'm over pouring the molds a little bit. This is because when the base dries, it'll actually contract. If you pour the molds to be level, then it'll contract and your suppository weight will be off for what it should be. So make sure you're bubbling over a little bit, and it doesn't hurt to over pour. Alright, so just make sure you're bubbling over or all your calculations will be off a little bit. Then you're going to let that sit and dry and do something else. After it dries, what you're going to do is you're going to take your spatula and you're going to put it on your hot plate. You're going to get it hot, take it off, and turn off your hot plate. You're then going to scrape the top of the molds. That way you melt the base that's on top of them that you over poured. As you can see, it's kind of everywhere, but the more I scrape, the more it comes off. You don't want to dig in, and you see in a little bit I'm going to dig in to show you that you can divot these. All you got to do is run that spatula across the top, and it'll actually melt the excess base and pull it with it. See, I dug in there, and there's a little bit of divot in that suppository there. Another thing you don't want to do is you don't want to leave your spatula in one space for too long. If it does get cool, you do want to put it back on the heater, heat it back up, wipe it off, and then you put it back on. Now see, I'm going to leave my spatula too long in this last suppository here. Alright, I'm going to let it sit there, and it'll bring the base with it as I pull it away. And you can see there's kind of an indentation there of where the base melted, stuck to my spatula, and then I pulled it away. And so that suppository will now weigh a different amount than what it should weigh. So make sure you're not lingering too long, and make sure you're not digging in. Those are really important. Once you get it all scraped off, all you gotta do is pop them out. Now to pop them out, what you're gonna do is pull them out of your suppository holder. You're then gonna push on this little button that's on the back of the mold right here. You just push it and the suppository will come out a little bit, and then you just squeeze it from the bottom. Do it gently, you don't want to crush it, and it should just pop out. As you can see here, it does look like a piece of candy corn, as Dr. Spidell will tell you. After you do this, you're going to pop them all out, weigh them, find the average, and calculate your displacement factor. After you do that, you can melt them all down and re-pour them, or you can create totally new ones with your known displacement factor, and then you'll know that value in the future, so you don't have to do a double cast for this drug again. If you have any questions, let us know. Thanks.